So I did my placement year with Kenvue, which is formerly Johnson and Johnson, the healthcare company, and my role was actually a brand marketing placement within the digestive health category, and I worked across the UK, Ireland, and Nordics as well, across many different brand portfolios. So as you can imagine, there's lots on the plate there. But my tasks kind of ran from PR content to asset management for HCP and pharmacy, and I also got to do a monthly share report and many other things like website migrations and reapprovals, which was, I suppose, a bit more complex. So lots of different projects on hand there. So I actually was approached by a talent acquisition lead on LinkedIn quite a few months before I began the placement process. So I was quite early in the process. And then they said for me to apply with the usual ways, which is the CV and cover letter, and that they would keep a lookout for my application. So then I applied, and then they reviewed my content and said that I actually got through to the assessment centre day, where I then did that and got a call the next day and was told that I got the job. I have learnt so many skills, many that are transferable, but some of that are personal and professional as well. I think one of the main ones is probably project management. I think, especially at Kenvue, you are led to lead projects sort of from the first to the end phases of the process. And I think when you do that, you really get to understand how a project can go from initial briefing to completion. And I think with that, you get so much experience from that, and it's very invaluable. So I think from applying to placements, from an advice point of view there, definitely have a LinkedIn page. A lot of people don't really have them, and I think they can be quite surprised with the significance and help that having a good profile on there can actually bring to you. I'd set mine up quite early on in the process, like years before actually, so it gave me a lot of time to be able to really like home in on my profile and add anything that could really make me stand out as an applicant. But just advice in general is applying to placements. I think just keep your options open, look for everything, apply to everything, but also make sure that when you apply to everything, you really refine what you're applying to that role with and do your research about where you're going, what the job is, and what you will bring to that job, because that's what's going to help you get a placement. I think a placement is a non negotiable. I think everybody should try to secure one if they can. I understand that they are very difficult to secure, but I think there's a great team at hand in the Careers and Employability group that really can help make you stand out as an applicant, but also help you with the whole process, because it can be quite daunting at the start. But I think definitely lean on these to help you, and they'll definitely be there to help you. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, there's been some good and there's been some bad on my placement, as I'm sure there would be for many people who go out and do a whole year abroad and a whole year on placement in a different place or even abroad. But I think definitely say yes to it, and you can always say no later. But just be open, and you'll learn a lot more than you think you will.